An Ntd documentary explores an intangible yet powerful force in society. Adversity, Stories of Critical Race Theory, exposes the origins and real-world effects of this ideology. It's a thought process that has crept its way into society. Through this work, first-hand testimony reveals how critical race theory subverts institutions and underpins certain movements, all under the banner of supposedly ending racism. And joining me now is the film's director, Daniel Hall. Great to have you here, Daniel. What led you to make this documentary?
Hey, Kevin. Thanks for having me. What brought me to this documentary was partly convenience through my work. I was meeting all these people, talking to them and finding out that they all knew intimately about what was going on with this. But at the same time, you know, I'm a father. I've got my daughter who's about 4.5, and my son was just born. He's 1 month old. And any parent out there who's watching this can know, probably thought about, like, where's my kid going to school? What are they going to be learning in the classroom? And you're going to reference your own experience and think, yeah, I had a good time in school. It's probably safe. Things have changed. And that's why I made this documentary, is to let parents know that, you know, there are some new things that have come in. And as you can see on the screen, there's some parents who were not happy about this. And it tells the process for them, how they stood up against it, as well as some other people who have been studying this, who have been doing the much more academic side, who can dissect it, give the full history, and let people know what's going on.
That sounds like a really broad overview of this that people will gain from this. But I mean, you even have the LEARNS Act in Arkansas where they're banning critical race theory because they didn't want to indoctrinate kids. And then even other essays are tying DEI and critical race theory to the anti-Semitic pro-Hamas protests that saw just, you know, Jewish students afraid for their lives in college campuses. So all up and down the academic spectrum. But what do people see through this documentary that they can't see elsewhere?
So what I hope to do is, you know, I'm not the expert, the expert are film. And what they tell about is, where did critical race theory come from? Because before there was so much debate, like saying, oh, define what critical race theory was. That was one of the points people used to shut down conversation, define critical race theory. And it's not something that can be done in one sentence. It has a long running definition. It has history stretching back well over 100 years if you piece all the pieces together. So on one side, it's learning about what it is, where it comes from, but also learning about how it's applied and all of the different sort of morphing ways it can seep into different areas, whether it's academics, you can see on the screen, whether it's companies through diversity, equity, inclusion, how it's pervaded the United States in many ways. And well, as we've seen, it's leaving in some ways through the Trump administration, but the point still remains that it's still there and people need to know about it.